guys. My name is Ian Hazikostas, and I'm the lead encounter designer on World of Warcraft. So my team makes the raid and dungeon content, a lot of the group multiplayer content for the game. The 5.1 patch for Mists of Pandaria is coming to the live servers in the very near future, and it's really adding a whole ton of new content for players to enjoy as they explore the lands of Pandaria. One of the core themes of the expansion has been this duality of exploration and war. And for the past 2 months, since the release of Mists of Pandaria, players have had a chance to explore this beautiful new continent. But war has been this dark cloud looming on the horizon, and it's finally coming to the shores of the continent, and that's the core of the 5.1 patch. The players who are in Pandaria are kind of part of a sort of first expedition force of sorts for their respective factions, the Horde and the Alliance. But there are these huge armies that have been massing, and these armies, these naval fleets, they're both coming to the southern coast of Pandaria. They're going to set up camp and really begin going at it, trying to stake their claim to this new undiscovered continent and defeat the other faction. So this is the overall storyline of the patch, and there's a ton of content woven into that storyline. We have, dozens of outdoor quests that players of either faction can participate in as they fight on behalf of their faction, defeating both other players if they're on a PvP server, or just the, creatures that are the opponents of the other, on the side of the other faction, to lay claim to land and attack encampments and generally, win victory for the Alliance or for the Horde, as the case may be. We also have 5 new scenarios that are going into the 5.1 patch. 2 of those are going to be Alliance only, 2 of them are Horde only, and in those you get to fight alongside some of the most notable heroes of the Alliance and of the Horde, respectively. And again, it furthers the storyline, gives players a chance to really experience and immerse themselves in this conflict between the Alliance and the Horde, and they can get some pretty nice items and rewards on the side too while they're doing that. Another major feature of the 5.1 patch, we are expanding our pet battle system, which we've loved seeing the enthusiasm with which players have embraced the system that we introduced in Mists of Pandaria. Players who have had these collections of pets that they've been nurturing for years now finally have something that they can do with them. And a lot of players, we find, are almost spending more time leveling their pets than they are leveling themselves. But in 5.1, we're introducing an item they're known as Battle Stones, and they allow players to upgrade the quality of their existing pets from common to uncommon or even all the way to rare, which will allow players to build a more customized team with the pets of their choice and raise their pets to levels that weren't previously attainable. We're also adding a bunch of new pets to capture out in the world, as well as in some of our old raid dungeons from years past. We've allowed players to zone into old raid dungeons from past expansions now without having to be in a raid group, so you can just kind of go in there on your own, because players at high level in the game are so powerful that they can conquer these enemies on their own now. And inside the raid dungeons, players can obtain new powerful battle pets from defeating enemies like Kel'Thuzad or Chromagus and so forth in some of the older raid zones. So I think that's going to be something that's a lot of fun for a lot of players. The final major feature of the 5.1 patch is what's known as the Brawlers Guild. The Brawlers Guild is this elite group of some of the best fighters in the world, and they're very secretive, and they can be joined by invitation only. Players who receive an invitation to join the Brawlers Guild will test their skills fighting a series of up to 32 total bosses that are designed to be one-on-one fights. It's almost like a single-player raid in a sense. So as they rise through the ranks, they'll fight tougher and tougher enemies, earn greater prestige and acclaim for themselves, and eventually they get the privilege of inviting someone else into the Brawlers Guild. So it can kind of spread that way. The final release date for the 5.1 patch actually isn't set in stone. It's not confirmed yet, but we can say it's going to be very soon.